Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally, and today I have four beautiful trash to treasures for you, and I want to make sure you stick to the end because it is something very, very different that I don't think I've ever seen anybody do. So make sure you check that out. This first one is this little basket that we found at the dump. And I had some Annie Sloan Napoleonic, I guess, blue that I also got at the dump. So I went ahead and just painted the top rim and the handle in this blue with pretty much two coats just to get as much as I could in the weave of the basket to get it a fairly good coverage. And then once that is dry, I went ahead and took my antiquing wax, the dark wax that already has a little bit of clear wax mixed in, and ran over that to get that a little more antique-y. And this has more of a primitive feel to it because I wanted to line this basket. So I thought that the antiquing wax would lend itself to more of that primitive country look. Now, if you have never lined a basket, it is very, very simple. I just took a piece of fabric that I thought matched this color well and just tore the part that I needed a little longer than what looked to be the width of the basket from the rim to the center bottom. And then using the hot glue, just simply go along the rim and put the fabric toward you, so it looks like it's going to be backwards, but actually what you're doing is you're creating a fold so that once you get it all the way down and around the whole rim, then you can flip it around and you'll have a nice neat edge into the bottom of the basket. Now, finishing it, you can do a number of different ways. I just wanted to go ahead and glue the bottom pieces together to make them sit. Now, you could also fold it with two corner pieces to finish that off, or you could actually cover a piece of wood or a piece of cardboard with the fabric in the same shape as the bottom of your basket fabric and slide it into the bottom if you really want that to be finished. Now, obviously, if I was going to sell this, then I would do that. I like the look of having that fabric at the bottom of the basket. And then I just added a bow to the side and filled that with a couple of different things to give you some ideas on how you can take a junky, or you could probably pick this up at a thrift store for $1 or a yard sale for 50 cents or something. I happen to get mine for free at the dump. And that is all there was to this first one. Very easy, but it's not something that I usually show on my channel, so I thought it would be good for you to see how quick and easy it is to line a basket. And this is awesome to do also with a drop cloth. Also, check out Shelly at Repurposed My Way. She has a number of videos where she lines baskets, and she does a great job. I love her channel, so that's another one to check out. This second item is also something that we found on the good table at the dump, but you could probably get at a yard sale or thrift store very easily. I had already done 2 birdhouses recently, and so I wanted to keep this one somewhat similar in the same sort of style because I want to put the 3 of them together, and I may eventually spray them all and put them outside. I have a post outside that could use some birdhouses on it. So the first thing I did with this after I cleaned it was to just simply take that same dark antiquing wax that's mixed with some clear wax and just go over the roof and the very base of the birdhouse as well as the perch, and then wipe that back and give that just a little darker feel as well as protecting the wood. I did end up taking the little eye hook off of the top of the roof because that's not something that I need at the moment. And then once I was finished with that, I took out the Annie Sloan chalked paint that is linen white and gave the body of the birdhouse just one good coat to cover that. And then once that is completely dry, I had purchased these little transfers at the dollar store a while ago, and I've used a couple of them, and I thought I just wanted a couple tiny little green pieces to put around the bird hole, the little entryway there. And that's all I really wanted to do this one. I keep it real simple for now. If I decide to add something later on to dress that up a little bit more, I can always do that. But I just wanted to make sure that it went well with the other vignette that I already had on my mantle. And I am really enjoying the spring look of my mantle these days. And so glad we are out of the 40s and even into the 50s in New England. So good to have winter behind us. And then that takes me on to item number 3. Yeah, I don't know how many of you follow Lisa at our shabby cottage, but she is one of my absolute favorite crafters. I look forward to her videos, and she is a master at making beautiful, more cottage style items and for her shop. And she makes these lovely tags to put on a lot of the gifts that things that she sells in her shop. And she had indicated that she would love to have some of her viewers make and send her some tags so that she could display them on a bulletin board that she has in her shop, just giving people an opportunity to be a little bit more interactive. And I thought that was just a really wonderful way to get involved. And so I decided, since I just so enjoy her channel, that I would make a tag for her and send it to her. And while I am at it, to make sure that you are watching her channel and also to see the tag that I am going to send her. So this is just a simple card stock that was literally for making cards, and I had cut it in half. Didn't need the back side of the card, just so I had sort of like a card front. And then taking some Mod Podge and some of this music tissue paper that I have, I just went ahead and decoupaged that down as my base. And these transfers that I am putting over the tissue paper I got on Amazon. I will try to remember to link them. I think they come, I got a pack, I think, of 5. It's like a kit, I guess. And then I had stuck another one in my cart, and my husband purchased something on Amazon after that, not realizing that I had something in my cart. So he actually bought me another pack of 5. So now I have very different ones. Now they're very, very small pictures, so they're great for journaling and very small projects. They're not great for, any major sized projects like the IOD ones and such, but I thought for this particular thing it might be the perfect item to try this on. So I'm just go ahead and layering here some more decoupage, which I have a nest and some eggs in it, and then also these transfers here and there of some roses and some greenery and just little bits and pieces that I want to layer on top of this tag to just make this look like something that I think would be very pretty, that Lisa would enjoy, and also just fun to make. I did want to take a stamp and put the word summer on here, and so I had to tape over the words that were with this. I also got this at the good table at the dump. I'm telling you, my dump is absolutely amazing. And so I just took the I think it says, and just like that, summer turned into fall or something like that. So I peel that off, and then I take a piece of masking tape and tape over the words that I don't want, and then ink the pad and just use the word summer. Now, it did not come out perfect. It wiggled. So I did end up decoupaging a little bit more music paper over that and starting over and having to do that a second time. And once I got that finished, I took some antiquing wax, just from the look I like, and went ahead and did the edges. I could have done it with my black ink pad as well, but I prefer personally to do things with the antiquing wax. And just once I had that done, punched a hole in it, then I added some different ribbons and the lace ribbon that you can get at the dollar store, and just made a little fringe top, almost like a bookmark, out of all of those different ribbons, and then added a lacy bow, and that is finished. I hope she likes it. I think it came out sweet. And if you have any interest in making one of these tags, I will try to remember to link Lisa's video that has the address where to send them, so that you can also participate if that is something that you have an interest in doing. I think it's a lot of fun, and I'm sure she would absolutely enjoy it. So that takes me on to my favorite and final trash to treasure today. Now, I bought a pair of Skechers sneakers, and they came with these little cardboard inserts that you get in your shoes, and I was going to throw them away. But the more I looked at them, the more I thought they are awesome, and I have so many ideas of things that I could do with them that I am absolutely going to keep them, and I am going to use one of them today in this video and do another one completely different, hopefully, in my next video. And I may even go over to the Skechers outlet near me and see if they have any that they are getting rid of, because I think this idea is probably one of my favorite. So I started with the first one by simply painting it with a coat of that linen white chalked paint. And once that was completely dry, I took the same music tissue paper that I had, and I went ahead and decoupaged the entire shoe with bits and pieces of that. This would also be something that you could do with a really nice napkin. If you have any hanging around that you like, just find the style that you prefer and go ahead and use a little glue or a little bit of Mod Podge and just cover the entire thing and just let your imagination flow. Now, again, because I had so many of these little teeny tiny transfers, this one had roses and clock pieces. You all know my husband does clock repair, so I thought that was cute. It had greens, it had little feathers, it had Victorian keys and buttons and all kinds of sweet little things. So I just went ahead and cut it all up and then just started to lay it out the way I wanted it. It has two. You have to peel the back off and then stick it just like any of the other transfers. It's obviously made out of cardboard, so you have to be a little bit gentle. But I found that my Mod Podge was just a little tiny bit tacky, which I think worked in my favor because it almost helped pull the transfer off onto the shoe. So I thought that this was actually a pretty quick and easy way to do this. As far as that went, not so much rubbing, and you didn't have to rub hard, but if I did need to, I just put my hand underneath and rubbed on it. And then I just went here and there, whatever I thought would look cute. And I end up opening 2 or 3 of these because one has just a whole bunch of ribbons of all shapes and sizes, and I thought that would be beautiful in the front. And, I put a key here, I put a flower here, I put, feathers there. So whatever it is that I liked, little clock parts and pieces. And I just love love, love, love the way that this is just taking shape. Now, you know me, I love the antiquing wax, so for me, I finished it off. You could certainly just leave it as is, or you could add a real ribbon bow. I could use a little bit of an emery board or a sandpaper to sand the very bottom of the shoe so you get a nice clean finish, and really just play with it until you actually just love what you've done. And that's really the way it is with crafting. So that is how it came out, and I would love to know if you have ever seen anyone do over one of these little shoe inserts. I would love to know what your favorite was, and if you get a pair of shoes, are you going to give this a try? And I thank you for stopping by. I am so looking forward to doing the next one, and I will see you soon. Take care.